1.21 gigawatts. Hey y'all, welcome back to Doug's Cars, and welcome to another episode of Rover Rescue. I've just been making so many Rover videos lately, it's amazing. For a while, I didn't have anything going on with my Rovers, and now they're just coming out of the woodwork. However, it's time for me to move on from mine. This, as you probably know, is my 94 Range Rover Classic County LWB. It sat in a field for, well, it's got an 08 inspection on it, and we got it last year. So it sat in the field for 11 years, at least. And we got them back, got them running. Those videos are linked, and there's dozens of videos on these. I put new suspension and tires on it and did a bunch of other things. All that's been documented. I've taken a couple trips in it. I took it to the Mid-Atlantic Rally, the Rovers Association of Virginia event. It was so much fun. But I think I've taken it as far as I can take it. It needs to go to someone else, someone who has more time and has a place to do all the work. And so I've moved on. And so this is gonna be my final drive. I'm taking it to its new owner, who's a friend of mine, who has several other Land Rover and Range Rover products. And he's gonna take it to where it needs to go. And I'm gonna get something that I think fits me a little bit better at the moment. There are bugs flying all over the place right now, so it's mildly annoying. So, all right, let's hop in and take it for a bittersweet final drive. I may drive it again at some point, but this will be my last drive in it when I'm the owner. All right, well, final startup. No, that's not true. I'm gonna get some gas. And I need my jump box. Thanks a lot, Rover. This was gonna be so easy, and now it's not. 1.21 gigawatts. Now, what happens when I do this? Hey, yeah, that's my Rover. Always starts. Usually, sometimes, mostly. Last time backing it down my lawn driveway. I've had a lot of fun in this. Made a lot of memories. Learned a lot. I mean, I'd worked on cars plenty before, but never. This is my first British car. So like, there's just different things with British cars, like Lucas Electrics, the Prince of Darkness. Which is not entirely true or entirely fair, but this vehicle has had a few electrical issues. This window still doesn't work. The other ones do. So sunroof actually works, but I'm not going to have it open because I'm filming and I don't want y'all to be totally drowned out. But yeah, I'm sweating a little bit, A, because I had to run in to get the jump box, but B, because it's hot out. It's hot in here. The blower works, but it squeaks, and the AC does not work. And of course, this window doesn't go down, which just makes it brutal to drive in summer. And I live in the Southeast. It's hot in the summer. I want to be able to use my off-road vehicle in the summer. So what I'm replacing it with is somewhat newer, but it does, at least currently, have working driver's side power window. Actually, they all work. And working air conditioning. And yeah, okay, it's mid to late August, but I'm still gonna need AC through October. And then in the winter, it's good to have it to demist the windows, using the British term, not defrost, as we would say it here in the US. So I'm happy to have those things. But as I said, it's bittersweet. So I really like this. But I'm letting it go to a good home, to a place where it's going to be taken care of, it's going to be upgraded, things are going to be done to it that I would want to do to it. And you know, that's what makes me happy, to know that the person who, this will be his 4th, I think, Classic, and we're actually just swapping titles for a vehicle that he purchased not too long ago, which may give you a hint as to what it is or not, depending on how many of my videos you've seen. So now I've just got to drive like the 15 minutes or so. It's about 8 or 9 miles to his house out in the suburbs, a little further from where I live. And yeah, knock on, well, the wood's in the back seat because I'm refinishing it. Let's see what happens. I've driven this thing to North Carolina. I've driven this thing to Blacksburg, Virginia, and gone up mountain climbing with it and doing basically rock crawling in low range, and it was fantastic for that. It does have a bit of a lift because it has the Old Man Emu kit on it, but I mean, we had a blast. That video was so much fun, and it was more fun to actually do it. So am I superstitious enough to say, like, okay, the jump box thing, is this going to give me trouble driving on its final drive with me? I hope it doesn't. because it's going to a good home, but I wouldn't be surprised because sometimes these kind of critters can be a little temperamental. So let's see what happens, and hope for the best. Okay, she's stumbling a little bit. I did have to put gas in, so I don't know if there was an issue with gas or not. But... okay, accelerating okay. So just turn. Of course, I got caught at a red light, which was like 14 minutes long, just because that's how it goes when you're trying to do something like this. There's a Kroger up here with a gas station I'm going to put just a few bucks worth of gas in because I don't want to turn it over empty. It says have a tank, but the fuel gauge has been getting a little bit wonkier of late, and I'd rather not have an issue. I'm really only going like 8 or 9 miles or something like that, but now, I mean, I'm going 50 and it's fine. Like, I've driven this thing 1,000 miles on trips, let alone around town. So I know that this goes on, you know, highway speeds well, and it's got new suspension, new tires. So none of those things are the problem, and I don't know. And of course, the coolant light started flickering. It's done that a lot. I've cleaned the sensor. I mean, it's got a new expansion tank. The coolant's definitely been done because a bunch of the hoses have been redone. So I don't know. It's just one of those electrical gremlins, and you know, the new owner's well aware of that. We recently tried to get a bunch more Range Rover Classics, and the guy whose son was like, well, you know what, I don't feel too happy with you driving it back. And he's like, do you know how many of these we've driven back? This is nothing. We can do this easily. And so yeah, let's get some gas. Well, I'm entering my buddy's neighborhood, and it's time to say a bittersweet goodbye to the old gal. I know I'll see her around. I haven't sold a car in a while, and this one just means so much because it's been through so much, and I've done so much with it. But it's time. I'm at a good place. I can let this car go. Now let's find out what's replacing this, because that is going to start a whole new chapter in Rover Rescue. So what are you wondering, did I trade my Classic for? This running and driving 2006 LR3 with working air suspension. Kind of. I'm waiting on a part that'll keep it up. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that, but I've already reviewed this in the video when we picked it up. It's the tan leather interior. It has 220,000 miles, but it's got a cool aftermarket stereo. It's got all this, you know, I mean, it's clean. It's got the refrigerator box inside. I've got some tires to go on it because the tires that are on it were used by the previous owner to run on the bump stops, and they are not happy. It's got the Xenons, like I say, I'll have them. And I'm gonna jump in this thing and take it home because I got to get this thing cleaned up and ready to go. Get it titled and tagged, get these new tires on it, and tomorrow I've got a part coming that's gonna fix the air suspension. You can hear they did replace a compressor on this for me, so that's good to go, but I don't want to burn it out. So yeah, there it is. Let's take it for a drive. So what we're gonna do now is pull the relay for the suspension so it'll stay up without continuing to run. And that one right there, just pull it. Or you gotta, yeah, okay. Fancy tool there. So this will give me hopefully a few hours. I'm only going like 10 miles to get this home without it collapsing. And it's definitely gonna give the suspension air on the dash, but that's totally fine. Now the little block I got coming tomorrow goes up in the front passenger side wheel well. It's like a diverter block, and it's got a bunch of hoses that run to it, and that's apparently got a leak in it because the bags are not leaking. It's a $40 part online. It'll be here tomorrow. Should be good to go. I can put that relay back in and be good for a while. It does have a lot of miles on it, but these ride really well with the air suspension, and I'm really looking forward to my first drive in it. All right, first time driving. Parking brake. Oh, it's electronic. There's the suspension fault. It's fine. Got all these tires in the back. Watch here. It's not the first time I've done this. If you watched my video of when I purchased Tyler Hoover's M3 E36 convertible, I had a buddy give me a bunch of tires that were snow tires mounted on wheels, and I had those in the convertible with me, which was interesting to say the least. That feels pretty nice, actually. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, this really doesn't feel too bad. Closed. Here we go. Inaugural drive. almost half a tank of gas. Good. It'll probably be gone on the 10-mile drive home. Brakes feel pretty good. Just the mirror here, just a bit. Yeah, feels pretty good. Steering feels good. Brakes feel fine. I mean, this is a nice car. This is a more usable car for me. You know, like I said, like I love the Classic. It's been a fun car, but I think I kind of did everything I could do with it, and that's why I went with this. This is something I can use immediately. The windows work, the AC works. I can drive this, and you know, I just don't really have the space and the time to do what that Classic needs to be done to it, and these guys do have that ability. So it'll be better in their hands than mine. I've done pretty much everything I can do, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. I had that vehicle for over a year. I've made so many new friends because of it and learned so much. I've had so many people love the videos on that vehicle, and they're still coming because these are friends of mine. They're going to be working with this vehicle for the foreseeable future. I believe the guy whose house this was at, who went in on this purchase with my other friend, Troy, is going to use it as his personal Classic. And he has this exact car. It's been in a bunch of my videos from the inside anyway, because we've done a lot of Rover Rescue in that vehicle. It's just got the black interior, but it's the same gray color outside. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm not going to be daily driving this, obviously. I have an i3 for that, but I can drive this to the store, go meet my buddies for a meal or something, and it'll be good. It's got this aftermarket stereo. It's a Kenwood. Wow, Bluetooth, all that stuff. Sunroofs. It did have this old TV thing up here. I don't know about taking that down because it'll probably look worse than that does. Maybe I'll tuck those wires hanging down up in the ceiling there a little bit better. And yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, I have not driven this before at all. You are with me on my first drive in this vehicle, and other than the squeak from the tires in the back, it's pretty quiet. And I'm kind of digging that. And the AC is, man, there's no wood in this to knock on, is ice cold right now. And I know the AC in these works really well because I've ridden in that LR3 a bunch. It's got the ceiling vents in the back. It keeps you cool back there as well as up here. Yeah, I'm happy I made this trade. I was a little concerned, but it's been doing really well so far, and I hope it continues to do so, especially once I get that distributor block thing installed up in the front wheel well. The tires are a little noisy, but again, the previous owner drove this basically on the bump stops. I think it was his daughter's college car, and I don't know how long she drove it. If you go back to that video, there was a USC sticker, so that's South Carolina, and then there was a JMU sticker, so that's not quite as far, but she could have driven it hundreds of miles on these tires, and they shaved the edges off, and yeah, they're noisy. I can hear them whining. I will not be driving on them very long. These secondhand tires I picked up are a nice interim thing. They came off of the same kind of car. We just picked them up in Charlottesville, and I'll get them mounted up, and they can last me maybe to the winter when I can get some better tires on here. I've got to put new tires on the i3 so it can pass inspection, and that's my big expenditure for this month. So those can wait a couple months. I'm not going to be driving this too far, or will I? I'm supposed to go to the Outer Banks next weekend. Maybe I'll take this. I've made it almost home. It's been uneventful. I stopped off to get some gas. The front end has started to collapse, which is, again, it's collapsing equally. So it's the distribution block that I've ordered that I will install hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, that should take care of it. Give my buddies a thumbs up who followed me, because it's Sunday and obviously I couldn't go to the DMV. So yeah, don't try that at home, kids, but yeah, it's fine. I'm near my house, and yeah, I think this was the wisest decision for me. I think they will be able to take that Classic to where it needs to be, and I've done my time with it. I got it running and driving, and new tires, new suspension, new cooling system for the most part. All those kinds of things that were taken care of. It was a great learning experience. It will not be my last Range Rover Classic. I mean, they bought 3 new ones today, new to them. And you know, that I can link to that video up above too, because that was a lot of fun. But yeah, gonna go ahead and pull this in the driveway and play around with it a little bit, get my phone Bluetooth connected to my stereo, and yeah, clean up a little bit. So thanks again so much, y'all, for watching Doug's Cars and Rover Rescue, as this is too. And please subscribe to my channel, because you want to see what happens to this just as much as I do. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And have a great day.